ain't sure just what. Big wigs up in Washington are trying to take everything I got. I'm down to my last dollar.
You're here for the People's Patriot Project. We got your 1800 Central Standard Time every Sunday. Currently, we're listening to WeP3 Radio, artists of Reason Across America Radio, with the mission to remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and teach the future generations the value of freedom created by the men and women who have served our country. Currently playing on WeP3 Radio, Go Big, The Way I Was Raised.
Still ain't got a lot. It don't take a lot for me to have a damn good time. I don't need to spend $1,000 on a steak and a glass of wine. Put a pig in the ground in the backyard, pass around a bottle at Arkansas home and it shine. I still got my guitar, my kids and my wife.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it!
Truck it off.
Tom Cruise, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 and 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
To put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shocking awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 Team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it!
Truck it off.
Good evening. Andrea Eichmann here with the People's Patriot Project. We are here tonight with our show, We Got Your 6 at 6. Every week we bring you a guest. Many times we bring a new artist, and then we share all the good and sometimes not so good things happening in our world. This week we are hosting some amazing discussions. We have guests on a loaded panel tonight. We will be visiting with Mr. Steve Geider. He's in the midst of getting ready for his Memorial Day program tomorrow at Veterans Park of Blaine, Minnesota. We also have the Grumpy Crayon Eater, the resident gimp in the house, and husband to the amazing Beth King. His name's Jimmy. And along with them, we have our members, Mark, Andrea, and Brian, and possibly a visit by Lauren. We'll see how things are going for Lauren. Our sponsors tonight include Green Hills Contracting. This is a veteran-owned and operated contracting company out of Moberly, Missouri. Thank you, Tim Newton. Catch 22 with Derek Iozio. He pops in and out. He has group tonight. You keep running that group, Derek. Operation Texas Strong. Oh, by the way, Catch 22 is Derek's nonprofit, and then his group is also with Warriors for Life. Operation Texas Strong, the Boho Hobos Hideaway, and we have Brian Kenzer here. He supports his business, supports WeP3 with his business, and he comes on the show with us. Brian, it's been a couple weeks. I'm sorry. Stuttering over my tongue. His business is Smart Living Today, and this is about American-made products and a stream to help support the People's Patriot Project while you are shopping. We will have him share some words before he has to run. Typically happens, so let's get you on there soon. The People's Patriot Project, We Got Your 6 at 6, can also be heard on Rees Across America Radio Sunday evenings at 11 p.m. Eastern. You can find Rees Across America Radio on the iHeartRadio app, the Odyssey app, and the TuneIn app. Just search the word Reef. It's everywhere. We had a visit with Brother Joe Meisch a few weeks ago. He brought on this amazing thing called the Temple Massager. Peterson, he likes to demo that, so I'm sure that's coming up again later. You can check out the Temple Massager at www.templemassager.com. And if you put in this cool code WeP3, you can get 20% off, you guys. That covers your shipping and a little more. It's pretty cool. I don't know. Whatever. It makes Peterson relax, then it must be pretty cool. I want to thank our sponsors, thank our guests, not spank our guests, thank our guests and our viewers. Before we start this week's show, we're going to ask you to take off your hats, stand if you can, cover your hearts, and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're here. It is the eve of Memorial Day. It is May 25th, 2025, and you are here with the People's Patriot Project. We got your 6 at 6 live stream podcast, and what an amazing crew of amazing people we have on tonight. We had 2 punts. You're going to see some of the promotions that were out there previous to the show. We tried to change the pictures and stuff, but this is who we got tonight, and they were able to make it. They're doing their thing. We got Steve Geider in the house, folks, and I can tell you right now, I don't know. Every week we bring on people that are the hardest workers I've ever seen. They don't need to do what they're doing, and they're veterans and first responders. And this dude, we're going to try to present. He does a great job of eloquently putting it out there, but he has this memorial park in Blaine that we will put some pictures up, and it will not do any justice to how amazing this memorial park is that he has put together. And he gives credit to all the community and other people too as well. But this guy is the spearhead to this. And it's, if you are in Minnesota, and whether you can make it to Memorial Day event tomorrow or not, if you can make it into Blaine to go find the Memorial Park, and we'll give you all the information. It is a must-see, must-do piece. And, well, Steve probably knows the infrastructure of that whole community is growing immensely. That's a whole nother thing. We can talk about that when we get to Steve. But real quick, let's get our news done and then our call to action done. And then our Mr. Peterson step on the box of what we should talk about piece for a minute. And then let's get our guests rolling. We got Jimmy King here from what we call it half of the 1.5 Cran Eater's wife, social media extraordinaire. And of course, she's already said Beth King, but we've got the one half better of Beth King. We got Jimmy King here. He makes us say jokes about the fact that he's an amputee. I'm not comfortable with it, but he's like, if you can't laugh at yourself, who are you going to laugh at? I laugh at myself every day, and I got all my parts, and that might be part of the problem too. That's there she is. What's in the news, Miss Eichmann?
All right, let me tell you, May is a busy, busy month. And so I will start out, and we're almost at the end of it. So May is National Military Appreciation Month. Congress designated May as National Military Appreciation Month in 1999 to ensure that the nation was given the chance to publicly show their appreciation for troops past and present. May was chosen because it has many individual days marked to note our military's achievements, including Loyalty Day, Victory in Europe Day, commemorating the end of World War II in Europe in 1945, and Children of Fallen Patriots Day. May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. This is a time to raise awareness and reduce the stigma surrounding behavioral health issues, as well as highlighting the ways how mental illness and addiction can affect all of us. The stigma around mental health and treatment has long existed, even though this has started to change. People hesitate to seek help or even talk about it with their loved ones for fear of being judged and facing unnecessary backlash. One of the best ways to celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month is by talking about it with your peers. The more you talk about it, the more normalized it will become. This is one of the aims of the month, as the stigma attached to mental health has led to countless delays in treatment and research on the matter. The theme for the month is Turn Awareness into Action. May is the month of the military caregiver. This is observed every May to honor and support the people who care for the wounded, ill, or injured service members. It is a time to recognize the caregivers' contributions and to raise awareness of the challenges they face. A time to honor and recognize the selfless dedication of those who care for these wounded, ill, or injured service members and veterans. This month provides an opportunity. Oh my gosh, I just said the same thing. To express gratitude to the approximately 5 million caregivers in the United States. I don't know if you guys know this. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. Memorial Day is set aside to honor those men and women who have not only served in the United States Armed Forces, but have paid the ultimate sacrifice while doing so. This day is a popular day in America, as it also unofficially marks the beginning of summer. That's not the original idea of the holiday. It actually began as Decoration Day, following the Civil War, when mourners placed flowers on the graves of Union and Confederate soldiers. May 29th, then, is the anniversary of Army Chaplain Corps. This year it is celebrating 250 years in existence, since it was established by the Continental Congress in 1775. The chaplain's primary role is to look after the religious and moral well-being of soldiers and their families. Chaplains are charged to nurture the living, care for the wounded, and honor the fallen. There are approximately 3,000 chaplains serving in the United States military. And that is what I have today.
Thank you, Ms. Eichmann. Thank you, Jonathan Crochet, for putting those together. And Jonathan normally is on the screen with us. He got a little call out today and is busy. Family first, life first. We got a whole slew of amazing people out there that are tuning in. Jeremy Daniels, good to see you, brother. Lex Bonilla, excited to have you, brother. We got to get you booked, man. Scotty Frazier from Texas is here. Dylan Petrie from Louisiana. Beth King, the other whole full half of Jimmy King down in South Carolina. Yeah, South Carolina.
North Carolina.
Oh, you are North Carolina. Oh, my bad. Quick debate conversation, because we got some people that F this up, and it's okay. We will have hundreds of millions of people tomorrow going out to burn some hot dogs, burn their pork chops, probably pull back a couple too many beverages, good or bad. They are going to absolutely thoroughly enjoy their day if there's no rain and bad weather, and they're going to sit there and they're going to gobble up their glizzies. They're going to enjoy life. And at some point, one of these people is going to turn to another person and they're going to say, "Happy Memorial Day." Think about that for a moment, folks. Just think about it. Doesn't make me angry. Doesn't make me upset. It's a misplaced misnomer of goodwill. Every day should be happy, folks. We're going to say this. And I know not for every. Bobby Withrow, good to see you, brother. It is a goodwill gesture to someone else, and it happens to be Memorial Day. Please, those that have served, please, those who have lost loved ones, take a deep breath and realize people just are dumb. It is what it is. I'm not here to attack or hurt, but this is a day to remember those who have fallen. This is the day this is the reason, the day that we remember the reason. I can't believe there's only one day. There's not one day in my life, but I can't believe there's only one day, because in America, you have a lot of liberty. And you can argue the levels of freedom you have. You won't get me sucked into that conversation. But I'm making you laugh, Jimmy. I'm making you laugh. You won't get me sucked into, oh, these are my favorite peeps are showing up tonight. These are your people, Jimmy. You're equals. Probably not. That's probably Lance, though. That's probably Lance. So it's not worth getting offended, beat up, and I don't know. If you can teach the lesson, I was just getting there. Teach. Take time to teach. This is the day that we memorialize the people that gave us the reason, the purpose to lay our big fat heads on the pillows of freedom. This is the day. The reality is, and I wish everyone would put a little card or something. Maybe we should make them up and have people. Every day is a day of freedom and liberty given to you by the men and women who have put on the uniform in all of the branches and, in our opinion, are civil servants as first responders. And the families, the glue, the people that hold those men and women together because they didn't sign up for the mission. That's the moms, the dads, the spouses, the children, the close family members, the friends of those that have people who have served. They're part of the mission as well. So our hearts go out with you. Not all. Oh, I don't know who you're excluding there, Bobby Withrow. I don't know who you're excluding. We love the fat heads of Texas. We do, brother. Create an opportunity to teach. All right, I'm going to get off that. Andrea, you got an opinion on this?
About fat heads?
No, about the conversation I just had.
Oh, I have a child-sized head. as the civilian in the group, yeah, I mean, who says thank you on Memorial Day? I'm sorry, that's silly, kind of. Thank you for your service, but who says happy Memorial Day on Memorial Day is another one. Happy time getting together with your family. Happy time remembering good times, right? But Memorial time, I mean, happy that you got to spend time with them at some point. That's great. But right, the day is not meant for
Hey, keep it G, Cram Eater. Keep it G. All right.
it's hard to buy hats when you have a small head. Peterson has a lot of hats, so it must not be as hard to buy hats for fat heads. I don't know.
It's hard to find size 8s. They're not that easy.
I like Beth's comment, taking time to educate, not shame or humiliate. I mean, and think where they're coming from. I grew up as a child visiting my family and thinking that it was the coolest event, the memorial event. The coolest because it was very family centered for me. And this itty bitty little cemetery in my grandparents' town was every year they dedicate a flag to whatever veteran passed that year. They dedicate a flag. So they give one to the family. They also raise a new one in the cemetery. I have to think there's darn near as many flags in that cemetery right now as there are people in that little town. And it touches my heart because they love their country. I just, and so that was for me. I mean, maybe not happy to think of all the loss, but happy to think that we are celebrating their lives and their contributions. I don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard because, right, not humiliating or like putting people in their place is not the thing to do, probably, but keep educating. I don't know. My mom always said kill them with kindness. So be nice when you let them know how stupid they are.
Be nice.
Don't let them know you're not being nice. Smile
be
when you
nice.
say.
Be nice.
Yeah,
Jimmy, what do you think? What do you think, Jimmy?
Oh, I guess a couple thoughts. When it comes to people saying Happy Memorial Day, it wouldn't be as, I don't know, controversial is not quite the right word, but it wouldn't be such a big thing if it was said in a manner of remember. If you're saying it in an aspect of remembrance, think of happy thoughts about the people that have passed, especially the ones that instead of mourning their loss, celebrate their life, and the aspect of remembering all the good memories and stuff. That it would be one thing, but the unfortunate aspect is when you hear people say, "Have a happy Memorial Day," as you said, they're in general talking about have a good day off work, enjoy the barbecue, whatever the case may be that you were talking about before as far as that goes. And that's not what this holiday is about. It's about remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, as you said, for the freedoms that we enjoy on a daily basis. As far as that goes, it brings into my mind one thing that I've said since 04 when I was injured. As far as that goes, it still holds true. There in the last few number of years there have been a few hiccups here and there, but in general, I would say that the country as a whole has learned a lesson from Vietnam. I didn't do anything different than the guys who went to Vietnam did. I went over, I did my job, I served my country. They did the same. They came back, they got spit on, they got called names, they got called baby killers and everything else as far as it goes, and completely disrespected. I came home and I ended up first time I went home on leave after being hit, I was there right around Thanksgiving, and my hometown asked me to be an honorary Grand Marshal in our Thanksgiving Day parade. So the lesson in that is the country as a whole has kind of learned its lesson that you don't necessarily have to support the war, and you don't necessarily have to support the president. You know, you like him, you don't like him, whatever the case may be, but you do support the troops. You know, we're the ones that, as you said, you know, we provide that blanket of freedom that everybody sleeps comfortably under every night. You know, and it's because of veterans and military members who have raised their rank, sworn in, and sworn an oath to protect this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic, to protect those freedoms. You know, they're the ones who are risking their lives, and Memorial Day is a time to remember those who made good on that oath. As far as that goes, you know, they fought to their dying breath to protect our freedoms. So that's what Memorial Day is for, is to remember them, so that, you know, sorry, brain fart. A lot of people say, you know, never forget or and whatnot. Well, that as veterans, that's one thing that we will never do, especially on Memorial Day, is forget. We won't forget the brothers and sisters that we've lost in combat. And, you know, this is a day that we take a minute to not only remember them, but give them extra remembrance, I guess, as far as that goes, because most of us will remember, you know, those that we've lost every day. But Memorial Day is a day, if you want to say Happy Memorial Day, say it in a manner that says, celebrate the lives of those, celebrate the fact that you got a chance to know those people that you lost. Celebrate their lives. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. So, but yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Steve Geider.
Yes.
Tell us who you are. Tell us about your mission. Tell us about your thoughts on the subject matter, and then tell us what we're going to see tomorrow.
Well, my name's Steve Geider. I'm the president of the Veterans Memorial Park of Blaine. I'm the one that started the whole project with the park. And tomorrow is going to be our 5th annual Memorial Day ceremony. During our ceremony, we honor everybody that's ever lost their life in service, but we pay particular honor to a certain service member. And this year we're honoring a gentleman named Bobby Pruden. Bobby received the Medal of Honor for his heroism in the Vietnam War. So we'll be paying special tribute to him. We will be flying his burial flag over our ceremony. And there's a certain section of the ceremony where we will talk about him, read a citation, and recognize him. Regarding the Happy Memorial Day, I talk to people about this a lot. I don't think there's a lot of good alternatives. It's easy for people to say Happy Memorial Day, and I don't, knowing the people that I don't know many that know someone that died in service. So they don't have that connection. I didn't have a relative that died in service, but I've had relatives that have been wounded in service. And, when I actually sent an email out to our entire staff, I work at Blaine High School, and just said, hey, remember, it's not Happy Memorial Day. That's not an appropriate statement. Here's some alternatives, but as far as rolling off the tongue for your average ordinary person, I don't think there's an alternative that sounds real good. And people I know, there's never any malice in saying it. It just, Happy Easter, Happy Valentine's Day. It's a day coming up that's recognized as a holiday. And I think that just flows off the tongue for many people. Those who have been impacted, or particularly those that serve in the military, that know someone that passed away. Obviously, it's a drastically different scenario. And, obviously, Happy Memorial Day does not fit. And that's what I passed on to people that I work with, is for some people, it's not a happy day. We have 4 Blaine students in our school's history. It's a 51-year history of school. We've had 4 Blaine students that have passed away while in service. two of those kids that passed away have family members that actually work at our school. So, they appreciate that sentiment too. I think you asked me about 3 or 4 questions. I don't know if I answered all of them or not.
No, you're good. You're good. I did rattle them off. We normally don't do the format of the show this way, but this is what we're doing today, and so we appreciate it. I'm telling you, folks, we connected with Steve Geider about the time that we started our podcast, and Steve brought us down to it was cold that night. I don't know if you remember, Steve. You just put the lights on the Purple Heart Monument.
Yep.
And you said, come on down. They'll still be lit up. We'll still do this. And I want to say it was late October at that time. And is that when it opened? Was in late October back in 2018, right?
Our first monument was our Civil War monument, went in October of 2019.
Okay.
And then our Purple Heart monument went in October 2020.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we went down there, and so we had about 40 minutes to put the show together tonight, folks. This is on us. It is what it is. Steve, we called him up. I knew he's busy. I've been watching this guy shovel mulch and plant plants for the entire week it's been a strong team, but I'm sure not as strong as you would like it. But is there any names you want to shout out for making sure that all the things were put into place for this event?
Yeah, the number of people, the volunteers that we have is actually small. We're looking for plenty, but there's 2 people in particular, Rick and Denise Swanson. So I had actually coached football with Rick for 33 years at Blaine High School, and his wife, Denise, has been just an absolute rock star. She is our main one as far as the planting goes. We have a local, it's a greenhouse, this Tamblin's Farm and Greenhouse, where last year they donated $3,500 worth of plants to us. This year they've already donated a bunch. So we have one of our planting areas is an American flag made out of begonias. That whole flag has 340 plants in it. She planted every one of them. There's a bunch of other areas that we have too that are planted. And then her husband, Rick, he helps with a lot of stuff too. He's usually coming up and weeding, trying to get ready for our fallen soldier monument that we're going to be dedicating. We had to dig out the areas for the cement to be put in and things like that. So those 2 are the biggest helpers. And then we have one other gentleman. His name's Dennis Angel. He's a Vietnam era vet, but he's been incredible too. And he joined our committee as far as things go, and he's always out there helping. We were out there for about 9 hours this morning, setting up chairs and things like that to kind of get final touches until tomorrow.
Folks, if you're in Minnesota, it's a must, this memorial. And again, like I said from the very beginning, the pictures that we have do zero justice to how amazing and how much work has been put into this. They have one for each war era, and then specifics for the Purple Heart. And you're gonna have to help me, Steve, because I don't remember all of them. There's the Purple Heart one. There's a female in service one.
We have a Civil War monument, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, War on Terror. The War on Terror encompasses Operation Desert Storm until the most recent. We have a Purple Heart monument. We have a POW MIA monument. That monument has the names of every Minnesotan who are currently listed as POW MIA. We have an Honoring Women in Service monument. And then we put in a Gold Star children's statue. That wasn't originally planned, but based on 2 events that happened in our park, we added that one. Then we have a Freedom Rock, and then we have 3 memorial benches. And tomorrow we're going to be dedicating our fallen soldier monument as well.
Gotten the work done, man. And again, not enough work and not enough people and not enough resources. And Mr. Geider is giving us the blessings to show up tomorrow as WeP3 and Rees Across America, because we also want to memorialize the lives down at Fort Snelling. And that's one of the pieces that we're trying to get into. And just amazing. Hang around for a minute, Steve, if you can. And let's get Kinzer in here. Mr. Kinzer, tell us how
Hey.
your feelings on Memorial Day.
You know, it's funny you should bring that up, Mark, because I was thinking about it early today. I think about it pretty much every Memorial Day and even Veterans Day, too. And I think people don't know what they don't know. And so I look at it as when people wish me a happy Memorial Day, I just go ahead and do that. And for me, a happy Memorial Day is given, taking time to think about and remember my brothers that I did know and the ones that I didn't know. And so that's what I do. I pay honor to them. But I think all of us that have served have a common theme is that we do it so other people can live free. And I think, some people just having a 4-day weekend, to them, that's living free, So I guess I appreciate that they even recognize that it's Memorial Day and not just a day off from school or work. And I take it for what it's worth. I try to think of a way to correct somebody, but I don't think there's any good way to do that. Unless you know, you just don't know, right? So that's where I'm at on it. I thought about it a lot, and I just thought about it again this morning when I was thinking about coming on the show. So I'm glad you brought it up.
And thank you for being here, Kinzer. Before your pager goes off, because it happens every show, why don't you share a little with us about smart living today?
Yeah, will do. Before I do that, I want to do a little bit of a plug too for our war memorial here in Milwaukee. If you ever get a chance to come through our city, it's definitely worth a stop to see. It's actually built to size and scale of a pillbox, a German pillbox in Normandy, France, and it's set back from the lake the exact distance that they had to storm the beach in Normandy. So it's really it's kind of a cool thing to go out and see and stand there. And of course, like in Minnesota, inside we honor all veterans that gave their lives that were Wisconsinites, and it's a pretty cool sight to see. So if you're ever in our neck of the woods, definitely stop and see it. So smart living today is kind of I mentioned paying homage to my fallen brothers. One of the things I found when I got out of the service is that, in my line of work, I get injured a lot. So they constantly had me on pain meds, and they had me on meds for high blood pressure and just about everything. And then meds also to counteract the side effects of the meds I was on. And so when I finally left the service, I pretty much felt like crap. I was taking a bunch of pills. I was inflamed. I was overweight. And I just, I thought this is not a good way to honor, people that gave their lives for me, for my freedom. So I went on a crusade to take care of myself and become healthy. And one of the ways I found was a really good resource that I've used to help me get myself back in line. And I've done that. Today, I'm not on any meds. I probably feel half my age. I'm in better shape than I was probably when I was in the service. So because of that experience through Smart Living today, I share that experience with other people and hope that they can, enjoy the same thing I do.
Outstanding. Thank you, brother. And again, it's American-made health products and just clean living stuff. And it's just another way for us all to live our lives. And we appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Let's go on.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, and we should mention, too, that it also supports People's Patriot Project. So it's a double win.
It is a double. It's more than double win. I can't count the wins. It's so many. So several years ago, I had a good friend from grade school, folks, and he had a son that was in the military that had took his life, and it just happened that we had connected, and he was still in the service at the time. And one of the hardest things that I ever had done, and we were doing a show, and the show was set up before any of these pieces had happened and came into play. But we gave a tribute to Calvin Call, for the night of the show. Well, we brought on one of our good today, we didn't know it was going to be such a good friend. Our good friend, Stephen John, came on our show that time too. And one of his songs, he's a Marine. One of his songs is Life is Good. And so I'm sitting with Tony going over his son's life. And he shared some of the background stuff. There's reasons. I'm not saying they're good reasons, but sometimes when our veterans and first responders get to a certain place in their life where there's no way out. I'm not, like I said, I'm not giving permission. I'm not saying it's good. He had some other things going on. And so Tony was justifying his son's death. And I after the fact, who are we? Who are we to judge? Who are we to say? It's kind of like even on the Happy Memorial Day. Who are we to say what is right or wrong for other people? And it's like, okay, Tony, you live your life. One of the hardest things that I did was I played our show for Tony and in tribute of Cal. And this is one of the songs that came up. And it is fitting and non-fitting for the thought of where we are when it comes to memorialism. But then I can talk my head around the fact that if you're not living your best life every day, I mean, if you go back and watch Saving Private Ryan, I get it's a movie. But his biggest dilemma in the movie was the fact that he had to live his best life every single day because the sacrifices his team gave him, Private Ryan, during that time and his family. So this is a tough one in this perspective. I played this song, and I tell you what, after the fact, me and Tony sat there, two grown-ass men, embraced for the way longer than I'm comfortable with, for the record, but it was something that needed to happen to start building back the life Tony wanted to live. That is a story that will impact me for the rest of my life. This is Stephen John. Life is Good.
I've got 40 hours of paycheck, the pocket of these jeans, got these Jensen's cranking George Strait circa 1993. Got the windows down and my arm laid up on the back of this bench seat. I'm headed toward the drive, a sweet little Cajun queen. Life is good, got that sun shining down on me. Life is good, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Got my troubles in the rear view, Corona in the igloo, nothing's gonna get to me. Life is good, yeah, life is good. Pull on over to the shoulder, baby, can I have this dance? Truck doors open, she moves closer, persuaded that happy man. Her head on my chest, my hand on her hips, honeysuckle floating on the breeze. Hope these cars flying by don't pay us no mind, cause I don't ever want to leave. Life is good, got that sun shining down on me. Life is good, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Got my troubles in the rear view, Corona in the igloo, nothing's gonna get to me. Life is good, yeah, life is good. I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about a thing. I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about a thing. sun shining down on me. Life is good. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Got my troubles in the rear view, Corona in the igloo. Nothing's gonna get to me. Life is good. Yeah, life is good. Yeah, but life is good.
That is Stephen John with Life is Good. And I hope everyone has a happy day tomorrow on Memorial Day, and that you take the time to remember those that gave you the opportunity to burn those hot dogs, chug your brewskis, and put your hand on the shoulder around the waist of whoever you want to do it to. And we just need to remember, just in case you forgot why, you have a 3-day weekend. I say that just in case you forgot why, you have freedoms and liberties every single frickin' day in the borders of the United States. All right, call to action real quick. You know, we are a working group. We tell our board this, but I'm telling you this. We are a working group. We are working. And everyone has a device in their presence. And this is our call to action, check your six. In the process of check your six, the first thing you need to do is you need to check yourself. You need to make sure you do your body, your pat downs. For some of us, both legs. For some of us, you double check one leg. You check everything. Am I okay? Check your mental. Am I okay? And if you're not, there are organizations and people that you can reach out to find the supports you need. The People's Patriot Project, the Cran Eaters. I know if you reach out to Mr. Kinzer, and the plethora of organizations that we have had on our show over the last 5 years. That's step one. Step two is take your device and go to a text thread, window, line, whatever you want to call it, and type in just thinking about you. Copy it and send that to any 6 people in your contact list. We're checking 6. Sorry, not sorry, but this is a proactive step to make sure you are staying connected with the people that are important in your life and making sure that they are available. And you know what? If it starts a conversation, that's not the worst thing. Now, if it's the same boo that you are texting every single day, maybe skip them for a minute and go on to the next person. Just saying. And then also, we do challenge you to take one of those conversations, just one, and there is a relationship somewhere in your life. All of us have them. It happens. Let your brain start swirling around this. You've had a relationship go sideways somewhere in your life. You don't know why. Maybe you don't care. But the reality is they were in your life for some reason. Now, we're talking kind of specifically in the military and first responder world. This is something that is touching everyone these days. So, first of all, anyone in your contact list you can do that with. B, these side conversations or the sideway conversation should be someone in your battle group or in your service group or in your network that did in service. So because there's a point in this. The point is somewhere went sideways and there has been a disconnection. Maybe you know why, maybe you don't know why, maybe it's foolish, maybe it's simple, maybe it was hard, but we do challenge you to have a conversation that's harder than normal. It does a number of things. First of all, it makes sure that you're taking the high road. If they don't contact you back, you know what? You did everything in your power. It is what it is. But bottom line is, and I'm going to tell you, I asked you to do that because I lost a dear friend of mine because I was being a poo-poo head, and I let it go so far to the point where literally, not that I would have had control over this, literally alcohol took his life. It's not on me, but I want to believe a little bit that if I had stayed connected, if I had had conversations, if I had been watching over my brother, I might have been able to do something about it. Maybe not, but make sure you get to check your 6. We've talked to everybody. I want to make sure, and I copied it. I'm not sure that I actually put it in the thread, but I want to make sure you have the address. Miss Kimmer, I see you. Just thinking about you. I want to make sure you have the address to the Blaine event tomorrow if you're in Minnesota. Again, in Blaine. It's real easy to find, kind of tucked away. Does any of the new construction of Blaine affect you, Steve?
No, it's more west of us.
Okay. Yeah, kind of around the soccer fields there, and there's in Minnesota. It's the largest soccer complex I think in the country,
In the world.
in the world. Okay, thank you. And I know that they bring in that's where they have the World Cup, and they bring in, and then there's also the TCI golf course right there. Lots of mingling, messing around, and that's a great piece of this location. We need to help Steve get some advertising up around those places so we can get people over there. That came. You probably already thought about it, Steve, but
it's hard to advertise. We only have one sign up. It's the city's got all these limitations on where you can put stuff. And so I actually got bitched at last year because some woman didn't know about it. I mean, we don't have many mediums to advertise on. So, I mean, we do it on Facebook, and the city did a small thing in a paper, and this woman's just lighting me up. Well, not all of us are on Facebook. And so that's the hard part is it's hard for us to advertise it.
You have a relationship with the Tipsy Steer?
A little bit. They make a donation to our golf tournament every year for a door prize.
Are there rules against billboards?
Not that I don't know.
We should
Yeah,
talk
we
Tipsy
should check.
Steer, putting a gigantic billboard right out there off their patio, and they can advertise them, and they can advertise the Blaine Memorial Park. I don't know. I'm not saying that to frustrate you either. My brain gets wiry on this stuff. And again, thank you for letting us come and share our stuff tomorrow. But our day tomorrow is to remember those that have given us the purpose and the reason, the mission, all the pieces to do that. What are you working on? What's the next step with the Memorial Park, Steve?
Well, once we get this fallen soldier monument dedicated, which I'm a little panicked right now because our statue still isn't done, which kind of a pisser because I went in March 23rd of last year. We went up to Camp Ripley to do the 3D scanning of it, and it should have been done a long time ago. And I've just been texting with the company that does it. So I'm getting about every excuse in the book, but it's like, so I'm on them about that. But then after that, our biggest monument, we most likely will not be able to put in. It was going to be our Armed Services Monument. When I originally designed it back in 2018, it was $874,000. Now it's about $1.5 million just for that statue. So we're looking at getting one more statue added. It's going to be a combat medic statue, and that'll be a two-person statue. And then we're actually looking to potentially get a helicopter. We have the big area of ground where our ceremony is. So we were looking at getting a helicopter that we could raise up and still be able to do our ceremony underneath it. But that would be kind of a cool addition to it. I had a guy that is a Black Hawk pilot that when we first talked said, yeah, I can get you a helicopter tank. Well, we haven't been able to get one yet. So I just actually had Pete Hegseth's parents were at our park yesterday. So I'm like, well, Pete's kind of a big deal in the U.S. military these days. Any chance he could get us a helicopter? And they said they get asked for a lot of things for him. So, but there was a couple items that they were going to bring up to him. They actually love the park.
Got any special guests showing up tomorrow?
We have a general that's coming to speak. We'll have 3 generals will be there. 2 we're going to unveil our statue, and then I don't know if you're familiar with Jerry and Jana Kaiser. They do the Honor Flight Network.
Yeah. Yes.
So they're going to come. I don't know who all will be there. I mean, those are some people that I know of.
Fair enough. Is one of those generals Trost?
No, he can't make this one. He spoke at our program a couple of years ago.
I always get in trouble because,
and I forget which one it is. On the bottom of that, our flyer that you put up, the general that's speaking name is on there. There's going to be a General Hamler, Kennedy, and one other one.
I get in trouble with Trost.
What's that?
I get in trouble with Trost every once in a while because when I was in service, he was my colonel. So I always address him, and he never says boo about it. But I always got to remember General Trost. Great man. He's involved in everything. So again,
he's about as good a guy as there is around.
Yeah, absolutely. Still teaching, and I won't even put it out there to say how old this guy is, but I mean, for the record, he was a colonel, and I got out in 2022, and he was a colonel then, so that kind of lets you know a little bit where this guy kind of is in age, but still in the classroom, still helping out, still involved, still helping with the motorcycle riders groups and Patriot Guard, and just always involved, always been there. Ms. Kimmer, gosh, love having you here.
So I pulled up that flyer. It's Brigadier General Timothy M. Kennedy.
Yes.
And then Medal of Honor recipient Robert J. Pruden.
Yes.
So his brother is pretty active with Wreaths Across America with the event that day. And I actually had him I had him speak to the news crew that was out there this last year. There is a road in Fort Snelling named after Pruden. And then his brother speaks, and it's really cool just to hear from family now why can't I think of his name? Bill? But Bobby, as he calls him, is the second oldest. No, he was the oldest. And so this brother, they had a large family, and they were the east side St. Paul. And when you got a big family, like, you got to go because you're 18. So go figure it out because we got not enough room. Anyway, he's like, me and my brother, we didn't know what to do. But he always seemed like he had everything figured out. So we signed up with the Army. We were going to, because I didn't know how to shoot a gun. But boom, day later, they're teaching you that and then sending you over to Vietnam and talking about Nam. And he's like, no, Bobby was he was in charge. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he wanted to do. But he was a daredevil. And he would push it if it needed to be done, kind of past its limits. It was just very cool to hear from his brother about what an amazing leader he was. So I'm excited to hear about him tomorrow too. Gosh.
Was that Larry we're talking to?
Yes, Larry. Thank you. I was not bringing his name.
Yeah, so Larry is part of the Kraus Hardig Final Salute Honor Guard Rifle Squad. So he will be firing volleys as part of that to honor his brother, and then he'll be also part of the flag folding when we refold his burial flag.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, no, Commander Bob Wiltsey brought him to us the last couple of years to learn his story and share his story.
Well, ironically enough, your fire team there is also the fire team that does Wreaths Across America as well. So it's an amazing tight fit family, and I think we can get some amazing things done as we continue to get closer and grow. And we ran into Steve at events at other places and stuff, and just help him set up his tent when he needs help, and make sure we get the information out there. And we probably should get. Granted, we do cover the United States a little bit more than. Not that I'd like to. That was never in the plan. We wanted to be a Minnesota-based entity, but now we're reaching all the borders, which is good. But we should promote the Veterans Memorial Park a little bit. There is, and I won't dive deep into this, there is a little conflict in Mark Peterson's brain when it comes to purchasing wreaths and purchasing memorials, knowing that we do have men and women that need support as well. But that is a conversation. I've had this conversation with Steve before. And again, it's not something, this is the good feel piece. This is the piece where we get to remember, build, grow. And you know what? If it's not there, people don't take time to remember. They don't take time to honor. They don't take time. They go and they burn their dogs and chug their beer and do those things. So, A or B here, folks. Actually, we'll do one or two. And I'll take a vote here real quick. We have some behind-the-scenes conversations going on. And Mr. Jimmy King said, I think we should get Shannon Book on the show. And I'm like, we've had Shannon Book on the show. And we've actually brought him to Minnesota for an event. It was Scotty Hastings. I have 2 songs queued for Shannon Book. I'd like the panel to hold up 1 finger or 2 fingers. 1, 2, 1. And I know you have all your fingers, Jimmy, so you can do this part. Panel, 1 or 2? 1. I see 2, 2, 2. Oh, you're all effing it up. Jimmy, I know you have hands, too. We're going to go with this. We're going to go with, this is Dear Mom by Shannon Book.
When he got killed, he was killed, and the Army disagrees with this, but his man told us that he was killed while they were looking for Bo Bergdahl. He was the guy that deserted.
We had a very close relationship, and I miss it every day. There's just a constant barrage of things that come up that I think, oh, I need to tell Darren that, or Darren would do this, or...
He and his buddies, we would pick them up at 29 Palms and bring them home, and I would hear the stories and how the firefights, the stuff that they don't tell you on TV, the true stories, and I'd sit in the hallway with the pillow crying.
So when he got back from Iraq the second time, the PTSD was pretty much out of control. And they fed him the typical, hey, take this in the morning, take this at night, and multiplied it out. You know, if this wasn't working, if one wasn't working, well, he add 2 more. A couple months later, it's still not working, add 3 more. One night he called me. He was going to stay at base for the weekend. We had a conversation, and probably within 8 hours, he was dead.
I am the mother of Corporal Benjamin Kopp, who was an Army Ranger that was killed in action in July of 2009. The day after he landed at Walter Reed, he was determined to be brain dead. However, the brain death qualified him, if you will, to become an organ donor. And so his all of his major organs, bone, skin, and tissue were donated, and his heart is literally still beating today, and a woman from Chicago. You know, I believe it was Emerson, the poet, who stated that the one thing about life that he's learned is that it goes on, whether we want it to or not.
A few minutes to write down what's itching inside my mind. It's been too long since we have talked about nothing at all. Wish I could call. I know you're lost. Please don't you worry. no need to worry, just stay strong. It won't be long before we're together, right here in heaven. I miss you, Mom. Dear Mom, please believe I've done everything I've needed to. Dear Mom, I'll be there when you breathing while you're sleeping. Dear Mom, I know you are hurting, feeling the burden of me not there. You're way too strong to give up on living, instead of still giving the love in your heart. I know it's hard, but never forget the things that I did and the reasons why you are my mom. So please keep on living, caring and giving. I love you, Mom. Dear Mom, please believe I've done everything I've needed to. Dear Mom, I'll be there when you breathe while you're sleeping. I can't believe I'm saying these words to you, but believe what I'm saying. You made me the man that I am. Dear Mom, please believe I've done everything I've needed to. Dear Mom, I'll be here when you breathe while you're sleeping. I love you, Mom.
People say, time heals, time cures, time. And it does in a sense, but there's not a day goes by that we're not reminded of him. There's not a, day go by that I don't play that song on the stereo just to remember him. We just smile more and hide it better. And that's what you do to get through the day.
We are Christians and we have a very strong walk in the Lord, and we have relied on our faith for most of everything.
What people can do to remember my sacrifice or my son's sacrifice is to remember him, to say his name. And not just him, but the hundreds, tens of thousands of other men and women that have sacrificed their lives for the greater good, for our country, for our freedom. And also to remember the families that have paid the price along with them.
God took him. I have to believe that it was his time. And to me, he's a hero because now there's people that we can help. And we were so focused on him. And maybe he had to go so we could help others.
Live a life worth living. Live your life in a manner that they never got the chance to. Be who they would become. Become who they never got a chance to be. And do it in their honor.
There's so much behind that song. Shannon's gone through in depth and detail with us to share. It's about writing the letter to your mother before you go into theater and just that whole piece. Thanks, Beth, for sharing about Jimmy. Ms. Kimmer, you're here. Sad note, real quick. Just not too long ago, I talked with Miss Jill Stevens in this, and she is a Gold Star mother of Ben Kopp, who was in Minnesota, born and raised, and sadly and unfortunately, the lady that was carrying Ben's heart recently passed away. And you know what? That's another piece that Jill has to deal with. As it's another passing. It's a positive and just kind of piece. Ben kept someone else alive after his service, and so Jill has given us the blessing to when we do our Wreaths Across America table. We have a headstone that we're planning on having, and she's given us the permission to memorialize Ben as that headstone. He is at rest in I'm having my brain thing right now, Jimmy.
Is he out in Arlington?
Yes, thank you, Arlington. I was going to say another one, and it wasn't right, and I knew that. And so and then Eric Oleschlager, who's in there with the Chatto Foundation. Andrea's, we've been to the bench, Chatto's bench, and just amazing opportunities that was put together so well by Steve Martini and his production of that song. And Shannon is in the. I told you, Jimmy. He comes in every once in a while, and
I love that guy. He is awesome.
He is a dude. He is a dude.
We met at an event down in South Carolina and had a lot of good talks. And he performed a couple songs there at the event that we were at, and we just. Really, I mean, we actually served in the same unit for a couple of years. He was a corpsman for 2-1, my first unit. Back when I was still active duty as far as that goes, and we ended up meeting and telling some stories about some people who we knew in common and everything. So. It was a good time.
Yeah, he says you're all right. Again, the family's so tight. The family is, I can't tell you how many millions of people are in the network, but at the end of the day, we get to put our paws on each other. Good to see you, Mr. Ladabouche. I get it right now.
Ladabouche.
Yeah.
Just let it roll. It's like rolling your R's. Let it roll.
Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Jimmy, real quick, share with us a little bit about Cran Eater's wife and what you guys are doing. And that, let's be honest, we're holding you captive a little bit. So,
Cran Eater's wife, it's at the moment, it's a Facebook page on Facebook. The page started up kind of as a joke because I'll get voluntold by my loving and adorable, beautiful wife to take goofy pictures. I've had my pant leg balled up in a bear rug's mouth or whatever, so it looks like it's attacking me. Along with some other photos with the bear rug that I won't go into. But instead of sending it to one friend and then another, someone came up with the idea that we should just create a Facebook page and let people go there to look at it. And we started the page up mainly as a joke. And then 30, 35 days later, we had over 1,000 members and realized we need to do something with this. So we have tried to build it into a veterans community with a philosophy of healing through laughter. So all the military humor that we all love and or miss or find, things we find funny, that some people on average would be like, well, you shouldn't laugh at that. That's too dark or too inappropriate or whatever. But we find it funny, so we post it, And the thought is if we can make someone smile, make someone laugh, try and make someone spit their coffee out every morning. If you're laughing and you're smiling over something silly or whatever as far as it goes, you're not going to those dark places as fast, and it helps kick your day off. That's our goal, is to help people. I tell people all the time, if you're having a rough day, reach out. You're a veteran, you're a first responder, you're a caretaker, reach out. Send me a message. I'll send you my number. We can talk. I'm deaf in one ear, but I've got one good ear. I can listen. If you don't want advice, I'll let you vent. If you want advice, I'll give it to you. But we're here for you. We've got your six. We trying to build the community back the way it should be as far as it goes. Yeah, there might be a little smack talk between the branches as far as it goes, but at the end of the day, we all support each other. It's a loving relationship in the manner that, if you've served, you've got our respect. Let us help you. And we're trying to build it up. We're actually working on getting, partnering with you guys as far as it goes and getting our 501c set up and whatnot, so that we can get with comedians and get them to mentor, so to speak, veterans who would want to do stand-up of some sort, and mentor them in how to get their timing right, how to deal with hecklers, how to move on if a joke doesn't land, whatever the case may be, and be able to tell their story, hopefully in a humorous way. Because if you get to the point where you can laugh about something, then you've obviously healed to some extent, whether it's from PTSD, whether it's from physical wounds, whatever the case may be. Like you said, I crack jokes on amputees all the time because I am an amputee, and some people are just, there you go.
Oh.
And people, are like, I don't know if I can laugh. Well, if I say it, you can laugh at it. If you can think of a joke that's better on amputees, tell me so I can add it to my list of jokes as far as it goes. Because Beth is tired of hearing the same 20 or so that I've got. But yeah, that's our philosophy is, if we can make someone laugh over something, whether it be inappropriate or not, it can, laughing in and of itself can be therapeutic.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Jimmy, for being here. He's actually part of the panel tonight, folks. Pardon me. He and I think we're going to see a lot more of Jimmy and Beth as we move along. If you get the chance, go check out their. If you like the dark humor, it's not even dark humor. It's dirty and it's nasty and it's what everyone wants to say. When I was interviewing Beth a few months ago, I'm like, I love your presence on social media. I love your go get it attitude. And I said, I'm not telling you to do it for you in your world, but in our world, can you clean it up a little bit? And it's only because we are in public all the time. We're doing the live cast, the broadcast, the podcast, and we're doing all that. And again, I have no problems with it. But it's not for everyone. We have a couple of music artists on our radio station that ask your question, Dylan. We've got a couple artists that can't be played during the daytime, especially when we're live at an event, because their content might be a little bit risque, only in the fact that some of these men are combat veterans and they wear some of their stuff on their sleeves. So the F word may come out. And again, I have zero problems with that. But it's when we're sitting there outside of the pizza place and the kids are playing soccer on the grassy knoll in front of the stage, we probably shouldn't have that stuff played during that time. And it is what it is. And we've got a couple artists that have that content, and we try to move them past the 9 o'clock time. And but you got to go. You will laugh. You will chuckle. You will say, oh, my gosh, did they say that? You do. You 100% keep it clean, 100% all the time. And so zero questions about that. But we know who you are, Beth. We know.
And that's that is the one thing with Crown Eater's wife, as far as it goes on our page. We do all the dark and or inappropriate, dirty humor as far as it goes, but we do add in the motivational, inspirational, whatever you want to call it, as far as it goes stuff. And we do have themed days, so to speak, as far as motivational Mondays, wellness Wednesdays, pet therapy Thursdays, stuff like that to add into it and make it to where it's not just all dirty jokes. But the overwhelming majority probably is just the dirty and or dark humor.
Are you ready for the question from Mr. Petrie?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Oh wow. Yes, I've used my prosthetic. I've used my crutches. Back when I was wearing the prosthetic more, I've used the prosthetic. I've used crutches. I've used cane. I've stood on my wheelchair, depending on what it was I was trying to reach as far as it goes. And I've also had my prosthetic used as well. I'll say just I've had my prosthetic used as a Stein.
Oh yeah.
It fit an entire 6-pack at the time, and yeah, it was interesting.
Wow. Yes, I can see
I'll keep
that.
it PG.
Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe that's another conversation for when we're not here. We lost Mr. Kinzer. I guarantee you that was the pager going off. And when Kinzer heads out the door, as every time I hear the sirens go down the street, I stop for a moment and say in my head, be safe, brothers and sisters. They are running into the fire, folks. They are running to hold the hand of someone who's taking their last breath. And let's hope that it's just not those scenarios and those cases today and at this time. So, Mr. Kinzer, we are with you, brother. Go get her. Well, we're kind of at that place where we need to we'll close with a song tonight. Again, I think we got some heavy hitter songs. In the fact that, and I'll just straight up let you know right now which song we're going to end in, because this is a song we've met with management to use, and we can use it for Reads Across America stuff. But again, in the moment in time and place, Gary Hine, good to see you, brother. Long time no see. Always love you. Always think about you. We're going to end with Scotty Hastings. How do you choose? Only because it is Memorial Day, and this is Scotty having a conversation about. I shouldn't do the lead in right now. We should do our final thoughts and do that. So that's what I'll do. Final thoughts. During the show, sometimes we have a conversation that grabs people's hearts, grab their minds. There's a connection made. And so Jonathan normally leads us, and he's able to formulate this very impressive nuance at the end of the show. Not that Andrea can't, because she does as well. But so each of us will kind of get a chance to do a final thoughts for today. We don't want to give you any prompts because it can be about anything that came up during the show, or you just want to get off your chest. Miss Eichmann.
So I actually was preparing, just so you know. Oh my gosh, hang on. Anyway, so here's what I was thinking about. Our starting conversation was about how to address Memorial Day, how to respond to a happy Memorial Day. And so I was just reading on some of the things and the reasons why we pay attention on Memorial Day. So really, Memorial Day services stand out as like major symbols of honor, respect, and sacrifice so that we can reflect deep into ourselves and deep on our people that we're visiting in the cemeteries and show that respect because they served. So it's for healing purposes that we go to these memorial services. It's for support. A lot of us go for support because maybe we don't have somebody right here right now, but we do understand and want to be there for others. It's a ceremonial sharing of the nation's history. These individual stories build into the whole of why we're here and what we're doing. And then there is just the reminder, and here's Peterson's line, but just the reminder of the freedoms that we cherish, and then especially tomorrow, the prices that were paid for those freedoms. That's what we need to remember tomorrow as we are visiting with people in the services, the ceremonies, the events, and the cemeteries that we visit. We are there to honor the valor, sacrifice, the individuals that are there, the stories that they've told, shared, and taken with them, and their families that they left behind. That's what we need to remember tomorrow. So that piece is, I got some of that from Steve's words. I read some of it from some stories from some veterans, and just feelings that go with that day. Steve, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Honestly, I'm so excited to go tomorrow. I will miss my little Ocheyedan, Iowa celebration, but gosh, you guys, they used to have second graders. They used to have second graders recite the entire Declaration of Independence on this day. It was so cool. These little baby kids. I teach 8th grade. There's no way you could get that 8th graders to do that. But then for a short time in my high school, I played trumpet. So a couple of years I got to play taps. Well, you know what high school version of taps I could do my best at, but I did it at the cemetery. I think that might have been another thing that connected me. But you got to go. You got to go. And the 21 gun salute, right? The firing salute. That's the get you moment. I think that's the realization. If everybody could just go to an event like that tomorrow and hear the speaker, hear the story, show the reverence and the respect and the honor for the reason of the day. That's what I got.
Mr. Jimmy, final thoughts.
Wow, I'm not used to seeing myself that big on screen. Yeah, I would just mimic the fact that take a minute tomorrow, even if you're not able to make it to a cemetery, or if you're not doing wreaths or flags on headstones and stuff like that. At some point, take a minute and think about the sacrifices that have been made for your freedoms. Doing that and being thankful is really all that we can ask as veterans, as far as it goes, both from veterans and for those that tomorrow honors, the ones who paid the ultimate sacrifice and gave their lives for the country that they loved.
Thank you, Jimmy. We're excited to be working with you too. Mr. Guider.
Well, I mean, I just want to thank you guys for having me on. Anytime we get a chance to promote our park, it's greatly appreciated. I think we're one of the nicer parks around that nobody knows about. And to educate people about our park and to get them there. It's important. Our park is not a Blaine Veterans Park. So many communities will put in a park that's kind of dedicated just towards their residents. This is a Veterans Memorial Park that's just located in the city of Blaine. We honor everyone that has ever fought, served, and sacrificed for this country. And this park has allowed us to do things like this Memorial Day program. And we really feel that one aspect of our park is it's educational. I mean, when you look at our monuments, you'll see pictures of different scenes from all the major battles and things like that. And that's the purpose of it. And, you know, you will see all the time where we have veterans there with their wives, and you'll see them like a Vietnam vet pointing on the statue on, you know, educating his wife on where he has been. And you'll see the same thing as far as, you know, veterans with kids there. So, you know, tomorrow's a big day for us. It's the most important day, in my opinion, for our park. And, you know, this fallen soldier monument that we're going to be putting in, this is the one monument that I am the most proud of, and the one that we have really wanted to get in this entire time. Unfortunately, it's one of our last, but it is absolutely incredible, and it's going to pay tribute to the about 1.5 million people that have lost their lives for this country. And we're going to pay tribute to all of them tomorrow.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you again for coming on tonight. I'm trying to get the right button here. Sorry. It has been a blessing to have you in the network and to just be able to call you last minute. I need to let everyone know, not that, and I told Jimmy this before the show, we don't let people see behind the curtain about some of the things that goes on and we deal with. It's not always sunshiny puppy dogs and glitter. I was on fire before this show started for a number of reasons. I also need to stop and realize people have stuff and they need to do stuff, and it is what it is. And again, everyone that came on the show were last minute guests tonight, and we appreciate you and thank you. And that's exciting. And then I sat and I watched Shannon's video, and we know almost every player in that video, and then most of them have been on our show, not all of them. And we know all of his band members, and we know him personally. And just the fact that we've built these amazing relationships that are walking, living memorials of surviving their darkest moments. And that's the piece that eventually we want to get to. And yes, we do need to honor and remember those that have laid their lives down for us. It's a need. It's a necessity. It's a reality for me. And I get it. Not everyone knows the story, knows the history, knows the pieces. And I'm excited to be part of an organization that says we're not going to let them die without being remembered. And I can't remember one of our people earlier commented, just say their names. Absolutely. Take time to say. And Mr. Guider's accurate in the fact that not everyone has someone in their life that they've lost in service. But we do sit and stand in a lot of speaking arrangements and engagements where if you are a family member of someone that have served, now that family gets large. It's not just brothers and sisters, cousins, uncles, aunts, of someone that has served as a veteran and or a first responder. Remember, we're losing first responders daily as well. In sense, some to combat, some to their own stuff. We're excited that our show gets to be memorial to all the lives that gives you your freedoms. And I don't know if you look at it that way. Someday, somehow, someplace, we'll get there. We're going to continue to share the message. We're going to continue to share the names. We're going to continue to share the boots on the ground organizations that are out there trying to make a difference. We're going to continue to build relationships, and we're going to continue to grow. Let's grow. Again, gentlemen, thank you for being here. Kenzer, our thoughts are with you, brother. Miss Kimmer, we're thinking about you as well. And I'd like to thank the WeP3 team for their amazing work. I'm not sure if we're going to be here tomorrow at 4 or not. We're going to go live tomorrow at the Veterans Park, or Memorial Park, sorry, Veterans Memorial Park. We're planning on going live, and so that might be our debrief tomorrow. So it is what it is, and we'll just be with us. We are here 4:30 every Monday for our debrief. Tomorrow we won't debrief. We will be fully briefed tomorrow, and because we'll be in public. And then also next Sunday, June 1st, believe it or not, folks, we have Pop Terrence, or let's go Terrence Pop, if I say it correctly, of Redonkulous. And we have an amazing artist, Jeff Jacobs, which is a reschedule for us and has done an amazing job to be in our network and does come in and question. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here tonight. If you got time to hang out, just briefly afterwards, we'll do a little quick debrief. And then ultimately, some might ask the question, how do you choose? This is Scotty Hastings.
Rolling down the window, too scared to get out. How do you say goodbye to someone you thought you couldn't live without? My mind is racing with memories of who he was and how good everything used to be. Damn, it could have been me. How do you choose who comes back home? Who goes under an old gravestone? I'm just asking 'cause it makes no sense to me. Is it something that takes a little time? Does it even cross your mind? Or is this the way that it has to be? Tell me, God, did I wait over? Why am I here? He's there with you. How do you choose? My guilty conscience preys on my mind as I see the words they wrote after he left us behind. Now I'm on my knees. How do you choose who comes back home? Who goes under an old gravestone? I'm just asking 'cause it makes no sense to me. Is it something that takes a little time? Does it even cross your mind? Or is this the way that it has How do you choose who comes back home? Who goes under no gravestone? I'm just asking 'cause it makes no sense to me.